Saturday, February 28th, 2004. As the medical crew were loading Kathleen Prowse into the Medivac jet at the Palm Springs airport and destined for Calgary, the elderly woman was reassured to be traveling with one of her 3 daughters. Her daughter was also medically qualified, and although she was not her doctor, Kathleen felt better knowing her daughter was with her. Kathleen had been visiting Palm Springs for a few weeks. The widowed 83-year-old hadn't been feeling well since Christmas and thought that the weather, warmer than back home in Calgary, might do her good. Her daughters had bought her the best healthcare travel insurance available, so she felt safe to make the journey south. But after a week or so there, she'd had a fall in the bathroom and didn't recover well. She needed to be hospitalized and was diagnosed with a staphylococcal infection of her heart, endocarditis. Urgent but not emergency heart surgery was indicated, hence the air evacuation back to Alberta. Once admitted to the Cardiac Intensive Care Unit, Cardiac ICU, on the 10th floor of the Foothills Medical Center, FMC, her family gathered around her bed. This was a family with healthcare and legal backgrounds. Kathleen had been a nurse and married a lawyer who'd become a highly regarded judge in Alberta's Court of Queen's Bench. Their daughters and grandchildren had all chosen similar careers. Those of the family present were reassured to see Kathleen joke with one of her daughters about a date she'd recently had with a lawyer, teasingly asking if marriage was on the docket. But Kathleen was also very frightened about being back in hospital. 13 months before, she'd undergone hip replacement surgery at another Calgary hospital. Post-operatively, she'd nearly bled out, been taken back to the operating room, OR, and suffered a heart attack, spending 11 days in the ICU. Although told by her daughters what had happened, she fortunately had no memory of those events and had worked diligently at her rehabilitation, for her hip and her heart. In the FMC, everyone was prepared for Kathleen to be taken to the OR that afternoon. But when the surgeon on call arrived, the message delivered was not one they wanted to hear. The surgeon had been operating all day, was very tired, and thought it safer to postpone the operation until the Sunday morning. Sunday, February 29th, 2004. While Kathleen was in the OR, the family spent the day in the waiting room on the 9th floor, not far from the cardiovascular CV ORs. Post-operatively, once Kathleen had been admitted to the CV ICU, her daughters were allowed to see her briefly and then left. Monday, March 1st, 2004. One of the daughters arrived in the family waiting room on the 9th floor to find 2 other family members very concerned. Kathleen's vital signs were becoming unstable, and they were convinced she was bleeding out.